Today, we are going to dive into one of the most profound texts on self-mastery ever written, the Bhagavad Gita. But we're going to look at it a little differently. Not as a religious scripture, but as this incredibly powerful psychological manual, a timeless guide for getting a handle on the one thing that so often feels totally out of our control, our own mind.
Does that feel familiar? Like your mind is just this wild, restless force? Yeah, well, you're not alone. Thousands of years ago, the warrior Arjuna said the exact same thing to his guide, Krishna. He said trying to control his mind was like trying to catch the wind in a bottle. It's a problem as old as time, but man, does it feel modern. So, let's get into the Gita's solution.
All right, so the first huge idea Krishna introduces is this concept of renunciation, or sannyasa. Now, I know what you're thinking. That word probably brings up images of monks in caves, leaving everything behind. But that's not what the Gita is talking about, not even close.
See, the common idea is all about external renunciation, giving up your job, your stuff, your life. But Krishna's teaching is way more subtle and honestly way more powerful. He says true renunciation happens on the inside. It's not about giving up what you do, but about giving up your obsessive attachment to the results of what you do. You still go to work, you still live your life, you just let go of anxiously clinging to the outcome.
And to get really specific, the Gita says what we really need to renounce is something called sankalpa. Think about it. These are the daydreams, right? The future fantasies, the constant mental movies we play about what we hope will happen or what we're terrified might happen. It's not about stopping the work. It's about stopping all the mental drama around the work. And this really brings us to the central battleground for this whole thing, the mind itself. The Gita paints this picture of the mind as having this dual nature. It can be your absolute best friend, your most powerful ally, or it can be your worst enemy. And the choice of which one it becomes, well, that's completely up to you. I mean, how powerful is that? This quote puts all the responsibility, and therefore all the power, right back in our own hands. When your mind is on your side, aligned with your higher goals, it lifts you up, it becomes your friend. But when it gets tangled up in cravings and knee-jerk reactions, it becomes your enemy, and it will drag you down.
Okay, so that all sounds good in theory. But how do we actually do it? How do we purify a mind that's been running on bad habits for years? Well, the text gives us this absolutely brilliant analogy. Just picture your mind as a simple, porous clay pot. Now imagine that over your whole life, this pot has been filled with all sorts of colored dyes. These are your attachments, your anxieties, your ingrained habits. And they haven't just sat on the surface. They've soaked deep down into the very pores of the clay. You can't just scrub the outside. That's like external renunciation. It doesn't get to the root of the problem.
So here's the solution. The practice of selfless action, doing your duty without being obsessed with the results, is like repeatedly, patiently washing that pot with pure, clear water. It's not a quick fix. But over time, that consistent, gentle washing purifies the mind from the inside out. It cleanses those deep-seated habits in a way that just changing your circumstances never could.
All right, so selfless action is the long game, the deep cleaner for the mind. But what's the direct, hands-on technique you can use right now to find some stability? Let's get into the super practical guide to meditation that the Gita lays out. And you know what I love about this? It's just so simple and down to earth. There's no mystery, no secret handshake. Find a clean spot to sit that's a comfortable height. Get into a firm, steady posture. Keep your spine, neck, and head straight and still. And then just gently rest your gaze towards the tip of your nose to quiet down the external distractions. It's a simple physical setup designed to create mental stillness. And the foundation for all of this isn't some extreme, hardcore lifestyle. It's just moderation. The Gita is crystal clear on this. This path isn't for people who overeat or starve themselves, or for those who never sleep or sleep too much. Yoga, as it's described here, is all about balance. It's just about taking sensible care of your body so your mind has a stable place to do its work. Okay, so we have the methods, selfless action and meditation. But what's it all for? What is the actual, tangible result of all this effort? Let's take a look at the ultimate goal. This is just one of the most beautiful metaphors in the entire text. I mean, just picture it. A candle flame, perfectly still, perfectly bright, because there is not even a hint of wind to make it flicker. That, Krishna says, is what a mastered mind feels like. A state of just absolute, unshakable stillness and clarity.
Now, a lot of people think the goal of deep meditation is to, gain superpowers or have some kind of wild cosmic vision. But the Gita points to something much more valuable, something that actually makes everything else in life better.
The number one fruit of all this practice is supreme peace. And we're not talking about a temporary feeling of happiness. We're talking about a deep, abiding state of calm that just cannot be shaken by the chaos of the world around you. It becomes your new normal, your new foundation.
Right about now, Arjuna asks the question that every single one of us is thinking. This sounds amazing, but what if I try and I fail? What if I spend my life on this and I don't quite reach the goal? Is all that effort just wasted? And Krishna's answer is, honestly, one of the most reassuring promises you will ever find in spiritual literature. He says, absolutely not. No way. Anyone who practices with a sincere heart, even if they fall short, is never destroyed. That effort is never, ever lost.
And he hammers this point home, stating it like it's a law of the universe. No one who strives for God is ever lost. This is the ultimate safety net. It means your sincere desire to grow, your effort itself, is its own kind of protection.
So, how does this work? The idea is that the progress you make, that purification of the mind we talked about, it sticks with you. Sincere effort creates positive momentum, these deep-seated tendencies that ensure you start your next life in a good place, with a natural pull to pick up right where you left off. So failure isn't the end. It's just a pause in a much, much longer journey. So we'll end on this thought. The Gita gives us this incredible, ironclad guarantee that any genuine step you take toward mastering your mind is a permanent gain. It can't be taken away. So knowing that you literally can't lose in the long run, what's one small attachment to an outcome, one little worry or desire that you could consciously practice letting go of, starting today?